that'll come your way on Sunday, September 4th, as we conclude the summer with the bang, a special Sunday night edition of PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Today, we're going to be hearing from the fighters. They're going to be involved in this sensational undercard as it comes your way at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of who you're going to hear from, you're going to be hearing from the top lightweight contender, Isaac Cruz, most notably known for having an absolute battle against Gervonta Tank Davis inside that very building of Crypto.com Arena last December. And he's going to match up against exciting contender in Eduardo Ramirez, a 12-round WBC Lightweight Title Eliminator. That in our co-main event. Plus, we're going to hear from the 3-division world champion making his return to the ring for the first time in 4.5 years. Abner, the 2004 Mexican Olympian, is back inside the ring as he'll put his skills to the test against Miguel Flores. And to begin the call, in a few moments, we're going to hear from unbeaten rising lightweight contender Jose Valenzuela as he will go head-to-head against the former world champion Jezreel Corrales, that one in a lightweight matchup to begin the pay-per-view. It's all being brought to you by TGB Promotions. Tickets are on sale right now at AXS.com, and they are going quickly. Now, what I'm excited about is this is an absolute loaded undercard. Aside from the main event, I want to bring on to the podium, so to speak, the virtual podium, a man who has a record of 26 wins opposite 4 defeats, 10 wins coming by way of knockout, former super featherweight champion of the world. He has won 3 straight victories since making the jump up here to 135 in 2021, and actually ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA. Most notably, he is a native of San Miguelito, Panama. He won his world title back in 2016. He's a road warrior because he headed to the Orient, to Japan, and he knocked out Takashi Uchiyama before winning a decision in his rematch. No doubt a very exciting fighter, a veteran who is looking to make yet another statement, this one at 135. Please welcome from Panama, Jezreel Corrales. Jezreel.
Y bueno, todo, le doy la gracia, ¿no? La gracia a Dios primeramente, de que me tiene con vida y salud. Estamos bien concentrados, bien agradecidos por esta oportunidad que se nos está presentando, de presentarnos nuevamente en Estados Unidos, y estamos con bastante ánimo y con mente positiva.
Well, thank you everyone for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm fortunately in good health, thank God, and excited to have this opportunity to fight on a great card. I'm having a great training camp, and I'm ready for the challenge coming up.
All right, that's Jezreel Corrales. Greatly appreciate our outstanding translator, Martin Bottom, for helping to give us the translations throughout the entire virtual press conference. Let's talk with his opponent. His record, 12 wins, opposite no defeats, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He's a stablemate of the Benavides brothers, David Benavides and Jose Benavides Jr. He is trained under the guidance of Jose Benavides Sr. He is a native of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. This young man is an exciting fighter. Obviously looked very impressive in his victory over Yuriokis Gamboa back in April at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. He's certainly looking to make some waves here at 135 pounds. Anytime this young fighter is inside the ring, he is all action and looks to close the show in quick and abrupt fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Jose.
Very excited to be back, especially on such a big card, another big card, Andy Ruiz versus Ortiz in LA at the Crypto.com Arena against such a tough opponent, and I'm very excited just to be back and put on another great show.
All right, I'm going to start off asking the fighters a couple of questions, then we're going to open up to the media for questions. When we go ahead and open it up to the media, make sure to raise your hand, and then Kenneth Bohari will go ahead and call upon you. But I want to start off with you, Jose. This is your second straight fight here on pay-per-view, Crypto.com Arena. You're the pay-per-view opener. There is a lot on the line for you in this fight, taking on the former world champion in Jezreel Corrales. And, if you can go ahead and turn your camera the opposite way, that we could see you. There we go. The other way. And I'm sure Ryan will be able to help us out. But let me ask you the question anyway. Jose, tell us about your growth inside the ring, knocking out Gamboa in the first round. That's not an easy task. The crowd went crazy at AT&T Stadium. But in terms of your development and your growth as a fighter, how are you feeling just being 23 years of age?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling super excited. I always knew I would be here. So I'm just taking it step by step. You know, I feel even better that I'm fighting a number 2 ranked fighter, a great fighter, and with a lot of heart and experience.
Do you think that if you're successful on Sunday, September 4th, that this will catapult you to being a top 5 lightweight contender? You mentioned the fact that you're taking on a guy who's ranked number 2 in the world, but right now you are a budding contender. But do you think that this fight solidifies your status as being a legit top 5 contender at 135?
Definitely. I think it'll open doors and give me more leverage to ask for these big fights, and people can take me more seriously and look over at my way and see me as a top 5 contender.
Let's talk with Jezreel Corrales from Panama. Jezreel, you are 31 years of age. You've won 3 straight. You have captured a world title in a lighter weight class, but how good do you feel here at 135?
Do you want me to translate?
Martin, do we have you?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes. Bueno, Jezreel, tus antecedentes te demarcan de que sos un ex campeón mundial en una división distinta y que además tenés las credenciales como para salir al ring como favorito. Pero, ¿cómo te sentís en esta nueva división de las 135 libras?
Bueno, en esta división me siento cómodo, me siento bien, me siento tranquilo en este peso, contento de estar en una división en la que hay bastante boxeadores competitivos. Estamos haciendo el trabajo con el favor de Dios. Estamos trabajando fuerte para seguir el objetivo, que es coronarnos campeón nuevamente en esta división, en la 135, y nada, estamos haciendo trabajo para salir adelante.
I feel comfortable at 135. This is a very competitive division, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of it because we are going to have many great challenges up ahead. Like I said before, training has been great. I feel ready. I'm in shape, and I'm willing and able to face this fight and any other fights that come up at this division to be successful in.
Can you tell me, do you feel like your experience, you've been to Japan, having won a world title on the road, that's not an easy task, but do you think your vast experience is going to play a significant difference in the outcome of the fight?
Bueno, sos un boxeador experimentado, que fuiste a Japón, ganaste algo que no es fácil, volviste, tenés, como dijimos antes, las credenciales de ganador. ¿Sentís que tu experiencia va a ser un factor clave en esta pelea?
Bueno, pienso que para mi concepto, siento que cada pelea es una pelea diferente, es una pelea nueva que uno va a tener. Ya lo que se hizo en el pasado quedó en el pasado, ahora estamos en el presente y el presente es lo que importa. Así que pienso que a base de mi experiencia y todo mi boxeo que tengo, siento que puedo salir ganador en esta pelea.
With my experience and the amount of fights that I've had, I do believe that I can be the winner in this fight. However, each fight is different. The past is the past. I can only focus on the present, and I can't just rely on what happened before in order to think of what's going to happen ahead.
Now, for you, Jose, you obviously have the likes of Cruz. He's in an eliminator fight at 135. He's taken on Eduardo Ramirez, but are you hoping that your performance against Jezreel Corrales sort of goes ahead and, leapfrogs you or puts you in line like him, because Cruz has competed for a world title against Gervonta Davis? Do you think not only is it satisfactory enough for you to win the fight, but you have to win in impressive fashion?
Definitely. I don't think I can just win a close fight. I win an impression fashion or potentially knock him out. and I'm very confident that I can do that. I've seen some of his film, and I watched. I actually got a chance to spar Machado, one of the guys to beat him and knock him out when he was world champion, and I know how I did against him, and so I'm very confident that I can do so, and I can't wait for September 4th.
All right, we're going to turn it over to the media. If you have questions for Jose Valenzuela or Jezreel Corrales, the former world champion from Panama, I'm going to turn it over to Kenneth Buhari. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand, and then when we call upon you, unmute yourself. Kenneth, it's all you.
Thanks, Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Jose or Jezreel Corrales, be sure to click that raise the hand icon on your Zoom screen. We're going to go ahead and take our first question from Keith Eidig. Keith?
You're on mute, Keith.
Thanks, Kenneth. My first question is for Jose. Jose, I know Ray just asked you about, maybe outperforming Isaac Cruz. What are your thoughts on fighting Isaac Cruz? Because I think people would be very interested if you two guys are matched somewhere down the line.
I think that's a great fight. If you've been following me on my career, I've been asking for Isaac Cruz before he fought Tank. And if after I beat Corrales, hopefully they can make that fight happen. I know me and my team are down to do it. So I'm hoping his team and himself are down to do it.
And what did you think? Everyone seems to think that he gave Gervonta Davis the toughest fight of his career. What did you think of that fight?
He gave him a good fight. But he didn't win. People are praising him like he won and like he's this great fighter. But that's okay. I think that's good for him for his career. But when he comes against me, it'll be a totally different fight.
And Jose, what's the reaction been in terms of enhancing your reputation off of the Vargas win? Vargas is obviously an older fighter, but no one had done that to him throughout his career.
Sorry, can you ask that again?
I said, what has the reaction been in terms of the enhancing of your reputation? Because you blew him out in a way that had never been done to him before.
Well, my reaction, I knew I would win. I was feeling really strong through the whole camp, and I knew once I caught him, I would eventually hurt him. I just didn't believe I would catch him so early in the fight, but it happened, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the result, and I hope to do that again September 4th.
How much do you think that maybe enhanced your stock among boxing fans and media and everything by the way you beat him?
I definitely think it skyrocketed a little bit through the roof, but I still got a lot more to prove.
Right, thank you, Jose. I just have one question from Jezreel. If you can ask him, Martin, how much maybe he feels he might be the most difficult opponent that Jose has fought in his career, even though he just fought Vargas.
If Jose is his most difficult opponent, or if if Jezreel is the most difficult opponent that Jose will have faced in his career so far. ¿Sentís que vas a ser el? Bueno, sí. Ya le dijiste la pregunta. Okay, go ahead, dale. De que si sentís que José, que vos ser el rival más difícil de la carrera de José hasta ahora.
La pregunta es para Corrales.
Sí, para Corrales, de que si él siente que es el rival más difícil de la carrera de José.
He tenido oponentes más difíciles que él, con más trayectoria, con más experiencia que él. Pero a ningún boxeador yo he menospreciado, y siempre que subo al ring siempre subo positivo y confiando en mi preparación y en lo que voy a hacer. Y así que si menosprecié a mi oponente, siempre es algo positivo y siempre es algo a dar todo lo mejor de mí. No sé el que piense de mí.
I don't know what he thinks about me, but I'll tell you what I think about him. That I'm not about to underestimate him, no way, because if you overlook an opponent, then you're just asking for trouble. I've had more experienced opponents than he is, with more accolades, if you will, but I am not about to underestimate his capabilities at all.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Kenneth. That's it for me.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Cesar Seda. Cesar, go ahead.
Yes, I have two questions, one for each guy, but I'm going to start with Rayo Valenzuela. Rayo, how you doing? Cesar Seda, América TV, Decisión Dividida. Hey, Rayo, this is the second ex-world champion that they put in front of you. The company is looking like they trust you. They said they want to test you, right? But the difference on this guy right now, he is southpaw. You haven't fought a southpaw, I guess, in a big while. The last 5 opponents, at least, you have that big win against the Vargas, right? But you think this guy, ex-world champion, I know you said you sparred with Machado, but what brings you to the front of you when you see this guy as southpaw and ex-champion?
I actually, the fight before Vargas, I fought a lefty in Minnesota, Austin Dulé, and if you, I actually stopped him in the 4th round. I dropped him like 4 or 5 times, and I landed at a super high rate, extremely high rate.
So you're already used to the southpaw situation.
Definitely. Go check the fight out, and it'll answer all your questions. I think at one point I don't even know where I was landing, but he wasn't landing much of it on me. And right. I put a beating on him. I'm good with lefties, and the thing is, my jab will be in his face because he's a lefty, and I'm a lot longer than him. And that's where it's all going to begin. And then I'm gonna close it off to the body and finish up top.
Jezreel, te traen a la mesa a este muchacho joven, un león joven, frente a ti, la promotora. Podríamos decir que llevas todo en contra, pero tú también has vendido tus 2 últimas derrotas, las has vendido caras, vienes de 3 victorias. ¿Qué esperas esa noche en estas grandes luces? Tú has estado antes en esta situación. ¿Qué esperas de este muchacho del Rayo Valenzuela esa noche?
Oh, yo no espero nada. Él tiene que esperar bastante de mí, ya que él es que lo están ascendiendo. Yo soy el que voy hacia allá. Así que yo me estoy preparando fuerte. Voy sin temor y a mi objetivo, que gana.
The question from Cesar was, what do you expect from fighting under the bright lights of Crypto.com Arena, considering that you're coming off 3 straight wins, and that when you did lose, you lost in a very competitive fashion. And Jezreel has said that, you know, I am not intimidated at all by the bright lights. If anyone needs to prove anything, it's Jose, because he's the one that's coming up and rising up to the challenge. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna fight just like I always do.
All right, thank you, Cesar. We're gonna move ahead. Next question comes from Ernesto Amador.
Ok, voy a empezar con el Rayo. Rayo, antes que nada, un placer saludarte. Veo que la prensa te pregunta mucho por el Pitbull Cruz, pero yo sé que tú respetas al rival que tienes en camino. No es un error de la prensa preguntarte y pensar en rivales más adelante. Cuando vas a enfrentar a un campeón del mundo, ¿esto te ha llevado a confiarte o respetas al exmonarca mundial, a Corrales?
No, sí, claro. Yo pienso que Corrales merece el respeto de mí y de la prensa, que es un gran peleador y no lo podemos overlook him, y tenemos que tomar esta pelea muy seriamente y no preocuparnos de Pitbull Cruz, de nadie más y solo de Corrales.
The question, bueno, espera que traduzco esta. The question was from Ernesto about for Jose about whether it's a mistake that the press is asking Jose about Isaac Cruz when he's about to face a world champion. Is it dangerous? And Jose was saying that he's not about to overlook Corrales at all. Like he said he's a world champion and all his focus is on him. That he's not even thinking about Isaac or anybody else. You know, he's just answering the question when he's asked about people or anybody else that might come in the future.
Ahora, Corrales, te saludo con gusto. Ernesto Amador de No Puedes Jugar Boxeo. Lo mismo, siento que la prensa pregunta mucho por los posibles rivales a futuro del Rayo Valenzuela y él te respeta, pero no sé, me da la impresión de que a la prensa se le olvida quién eres, de qué país eres y todo lo que has hecho en el cuadrilátero.
Sí, siento que se están apurando a los hechos. Hay un compromiso al cual hay que cumplir, tanto él como yo. Yo también tengo bastante futuro por delante. Y mi carrera yo no soy un escalón de nadie, si es que lo están pensando así. Así que siento que y le doy el mérito al muchacho también que también es subiendo, y he visto también todas sus peleas, y también estoy estudiando todas sus peleas que ha tenido con Justin, con el otro, ¿cómo se llama este? El que es de México también. Vargas, he visto otras peleas que ha tenido anteriormente, y sé que es un boxeador de cuidado y un boxeador de respeto. Así que la pelea no va a ser fácil, sé que la pelea no va a ser fácil tanto para mí, tanto para él. Ese ya que dice que maten en la cara, tiene que tirarlo, porque somos dos boxeadores zurdos, y ahí se va a tener que ver quién va a ser mejor, porque somos dos boxeadores.
The question from Ernesto was whether, on that vein of Jose being asked about future fights, does Corrales feel like people are forgetting who he is, where he comes from, and the things that he has accomplished? And Corrales said that, I do believe that the press is kind of rushing a little bit, and that they are kind of overlooking and forgetting about who I am and what I have accomplished. Having said that, I also respect Jose a lot. I have seen his past fights against both Duley and Vargas. I know that this is going to be a battle between two southpaws that are going to go for it all, but don't put the cart before the horse, because I'm still here and I can still accomplish a lot of great things inside the ring.
All right. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Ernesto. And we'll turn it back over to Ray.
All right. Thank you very much to Jose Valenzuela, Jezreel Corrales for their time. We're very excited as we are just over a month out until Sunday, September 4th. Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Jezreel Corrales and Jose Valenzuela will match up in a 10-round lightweight matchup to begin the pay-per-view. Now let's get into our next matchup, as this one should be a very compelling affair. It is the return of the 3-division world champion in Abner Mares, but let's talk with his adversary first of all. His adversary has been inside the ring against the likes of Leo Santa Cruz, also Eduardo Ramirez. His record, 24 wins, opposite 4 defeats, a dozen wins, coming by way of knockout. Originally born in Mexico, now residing in Spring, Texas. As I mentioned, he challenged Leo for a 130-pound championship back in November of 2019. He realizes this is a major opportunity. If he's successful, then he puts himself in line for another big opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miguel El Michoacano Flores. Miguel, how are you feeling?
Awesome, excited to be a part of a great card. I mean, just hearing Valenzuela and Corrales talk, man, you know, I'm just excited. It's going to be a great night of fights. All of the fights actually have Mexicans in them. So it's going to be a great night of fights. And, you know, I'm just excited. The name Abner Mares, it brings a lot to the table. So, you know, I want to just take advantage of the opportunity that's given to me.
All right. Well, now let's talk with your adversary, your opponent that'll be standing across the ring from you on Sunday, September 4th. Abner Mares, well, a 3-division world champion, 31-3-1, 15 wins coming by way of knockout, a world champion at bantamweight, world champion at super bantamweight, and at featherweight. He is a 2004 Mexican Olympian, born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, now living in Montebello, California. He has fought 4 straight fights in the Los Angeles area. I mean, one fight that really comes to mind is almost 7 years ago, August 29, 2015, a legendary night in Los Angeles boxing. Him and Leo Santa Cruz threw over 2,000 punches combined. The bell rang. They went to the center of the ring and started going toe-to-toe towards one another. It's the kind of fighter that he is. And after 4.5 years away from the ring, we welcome him with open arms. Please welcome the former 3-division world champion, Abner Mares. Abner, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, Bray? How you doing? First of all, are you two related?
No, we're not.
Not at all. We're not related.
That's funny. No, everything's good, man. Just happy to be on this card. Happy to be back, period. You know, be fighting again. I'm just overjoyed with good gratitude more than anything towards a lot of people that made this happen, and I can't wait for September 4th because it's a comeback that I've asked for a while, and it feels even it's more meaningful because it's in hometown. It's here in LA, so I can't wait. It should be a good one.
Abner, I talked with you a couple of weeks ago during the kickoff press conference that we had on the top of the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, but that was about 2 weeks ago. Now that you are really in the heart of training camp, how has this process been like? Is it sort of like, when you ride a bike and you're sort of, back on once again? Right. Is it different for you as you're now 36 years of age? What has the process been like as you're now into the heart and the meat of training camp?
It's a good question and fair question, and people should know that once you get to a certain age, certain point of your life, speaking of age, getting older, obviously you got to train different. I train smarter, not harder. I know it's the same, but it's true. I can't do the same things I used to do. I am sparring younger fighters, but I can't go toe to toe with them. I got to be smart. I got to do what I got to do, but at the same time, get the great condition that I need to, put in all my experience into the ring. And it's been a tough training camp. I'm not going to lie, because I've been out for so long, 4.5 years to be exact. And but what I'm doing this camp in most camps I've never done really is enjoy it. I'm really just enjoying myself. I'm making progress. I'm enjoying my time with my family. Every time I spar, my kids, my wife, my friends come and see me spar, because I take this as possibly my last fight. So I want them to enjoy it with me, and it's just it's one of those opportunities that you hardly ever get after 4 years, and I'm trying to make it a memorable one.
Abner, real quick, you mentioned that this could possibly be your last fight.
Yes.
Is this the sort of thing where if you have an impressive performance against Miguel Flores that you're like, okay, this is the way I want to go out? Or is it the opposite way, in the sense that if I look really good against him, let me test myself again? So have you thought about what that process might be like to make that decision?
I have not thought about it, because that's putting pressure on myself I don't know. It's just too much pressure. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I said it at the press conference, at the Andy Ruiz and Ortiz press conference. I'm not calling out no one. I don't want to fight the best right now. I'm taking it fight by fight, and it is what it is. It's just Miguel Flores in front of me. I'm gonna enjoy this fight, and then take it as it is. We'll see what happens after that.
Miguel, for you to be able to get inside the ring against someone of the caliber of Abner Mares, pretty much in his hometown of Los Angeles, you're coming off a win over Dihu Lolguin. When you've made your step up in competition, it hasn't gone your way. But do you think that this victory, and if you're impressive in a performance against Abner Mares, then it can catapult you to fighting amongst the elite in the division?
I mean, exactly. That's what I said. The name, just the name, even though he's been out for a while, the name Abner Mares, still has a value, it brings a lot to the table. So, like Abner said, actually, I'm taking it fight by fight. I got to get past him in order to get bigger fights. So right now our focus is in Abner. Like people say, he's been out 4 years, but you never know, man. Rest does you good. You never know. He may come out feeling fresh. These training camps are harder. So I'm sure these years that he's been out, it's been helping his body recuperate. So I'm expecting, the best version of Abner Mares. And, I know he's a true veteran. We're also veterans. I'm 30. I just turned 30 a couple of weeks ago. So, me, myself, I almost have 30 pro fights. So I'm a veteran myself. So that just shows you're going to have two, experienced fighters. I've competed in the world-class level. I've fallen short, against Ramirez and Leo, but I've been there. So, every time I know what it takes. So, we're just excited, and, we're going to give the fans a great show.
All right, we're going to turn it over to the media for questions. Make sure to raise your hand. And then when we call upon you, unmute yourself. Kenneth Bahari, all you, my friend.
Thanks, Ray. First question from Keith Eidick.
Yes, my question is for Abner. Abner, you've been off for such a long time, obviously. Was there a point where you really thought you were not going to fight again? And then if so, what changed your mind about it?
Yes, there was a point in my life where I thought I was not going to come back ever again. Frustration more than anything, because I think I waited a year after my injury. I did try to go for my license, but then, my family and, people around me said, you know what, why bother, Abner? You're retired, you're good. Because, I am good. I'm blessed. I am good where I'm at right now. So that kind of stopped me from continuing to pursue, my what I wanted to, which was, to come back. And then when I went and applied for my license, the California license, it was a lot. It was a lot. I had to go through a lot of doctors, people saying that I might not be able to. So it was a process. So yeah, of course, it crossed my mind that, maybe I would never get the opportunity. Maybe they will vote against, me getting my license, but it was quite the opposite. Thank God I got the okay, the approval, and I'm here, and I'm taking fully advantage of it. I'm training 100%. I'm training. I'm just enjoying this camp, training really well. And like I said, I'm treating this like I have been ever since because this is not my first detachment. I had a detachment back in 2008. If you guys knew, and I was able to make a career after that. But now and ever since, I always saw my every fight as possibly my last fight, so on. But I did make a career out of it. So this fight, I'm seeing it as my last fight. So I'm gonna go out with the bang. I'm gonna go out with on my shield, and I'm gonna put a performance for all my fans, my family, my siblings, everybody that's gonna be out in LA at the Crypto Arena.
You mentioned it was a very long process for you at the California Commission. How long ago?
It started mid last year, because of the COVID issue. Everything we had to do through Zoom. Emails. I did go see physically two commissioner retina specialist, aside from my doctor. So it was just a process, that obviously any fighter that's been injured, especially the seriousness that they took it really professional, and I just followed instructions and just waited for my turn.
My last question for you, Abner, is you mentioned previously your family kind of dissuaded you from coming back and said, you're okay financially, you've accomplished a lot, why bother? How much negotiating did you have to do maybe with your wife and your children and anyone else to kind of convince them that this was the way you should go?
It took them a while to understand that it wasn't something that I just wanted because, financially or it took them a while to understand that it was something personal, something that I wanted, but at the same time, but like, Dad, we don't want you to get hurt. I'm like, I'll be good, baby. I'll be good, girls, to defend myself. So they understood. As a matter of fact, today I had a sparring session and they were there, my daughters and my wife, and to see my little one to say, give me props and be like, Dad, you did good today. Give me 5, so things like that. And I'm just enjoying myself, like I said, but it took them a while, but now they're on it. They have to, they support me 100% like I support them.
And Abner, how old are your children now?
I got a 16-year-old and a 11-year-old daughter.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Abner. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Ismail Abdul Salam.
Thank you, KB. First question is for Miguel. Miguel, obviously, coming into this fight, Abner, like he mentioned, he's had the detached retina. He's fully back as far as we know. But on your end, as a fighter looking for weaknesses and things to exploit, is that something that you would feel comfortable targeting, or do you feel like that's not something you want to put into your strategy when you're deciphering a way to beat Abner Mares?
Yeah, damn, bro, that's a crazy question.
That's I think people have mentioned it to me, but to me, Abner is a target. You know, I don't just want to, you know, focus on that. What if that doesn't work? What if he's good on his eye? Well, he should be good on his eye. You know, no, like I want to target his body. He's been out. I want to see how his body's doing. You know, he is the target, so I'm not even worried about that. Like I said, people don't realize, man, having a couple of time off, it does your body good. So I'm sure Abner knows. Man, I like, to be honest, I tell people Abner's a grown-ass man. He knows what he's doing. Like, he's not going to put his life in jeopardy. So no, his eye's not a target. I mean, I'm targeting him. He is the target. I'm targeting his body, and I'm not even worried about that. That's not even, you know, something we're worried about right now.
Thank you. And my last question for you, Abner, when Muhammad Ali came back in 1970, he mentioned the biggest thing was the stamina. He said even after 3 rounds, when he knocked out Jerry Quarry, he was exhausted. That was like the biggest thing for him to try and get back. For you, has it also been the stamina, or has it been something different when you're getting back into training and getting ready for the fight?
I mean, for any fighter, I mean, stamina is everything. Training, you know. And for me, the older fighter and the one that's been out, I mean, it's just really is timing. You know, aside from the stamina, you know, I'm gonna get ready regardless. I'm gonna do my conditioning. I'll be ready for 10 rounds, but it's the timing more than anything for me. The reflexes, you know, finding your distance, and we saw that against last weekend, Danny Garcia, what he did. You know, after 2 years, his timing was there. So it's just a matter of sparring a lot, and that's all I'm worried about. My timing, really. The conditioning, you know, no concern, because I train 100% to always be in shape.
Miguel, Abner, thank you very much. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ismael. We'll take our next question from Erica Montoya.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Abner, buenas tardes. Quisiera que me contaras cuál es la motivación principal para regresar, ya que mencionabas que dentro de tus metas no está ahorita hablar de los grandes nombres.
Mi motivación, well, Martin, you want to translate that first?
Sure. It's, you know, what, after such a long time away, what do you think is your biggest motivation? What drives you in this fight?
Lo voy a contestar en inglés, América, para que. So basically, my motivation is just to go out on my shield, you know, go out on my own terms, not to be the fighter that, hey, you know, he retired because he got injured. No, you know, I want to be remembered as Abner Ramirez. After 4 years, he comes back and he puts on a spectacular show and he wins, and, you know, he calls it quits, and that's it. You know, I went out on my own terms. I went out on my shield, and that's pretty much why I'm doing this.
De todo lo que has.
Perdón, Erika.
No, Erika entiende muy bien inglés.
No tengo problema.
Lo iba a hacer para el resto, pero si no es necesario, dale, tranquila.
Abner, me estabas comentando que te quieres ir bajo tus propios términos. De todo lo que hiciste tú arriba del ring, ¿te quedó algo por hacer que digas, por eso también estoy regresando?
Do you think that with everything that you have done previously inside the ring, is the comeback motivated by maybe something that you feel that you still need to prove, that you still need to accomplish, and that makes you want to come back even more?
I mean, yes, of course. The fact that, you know, when I got, you know, when they pulled the plug, basically because of my injury, you know, I had unfinished business with Tank Davis. I was going to fight Tank Davis, a great fight. And people can still talk and say that you would have lost. No, at that time, I would have beat Tank Davis. Probably a Leo Santa Cruz rematch. You know, a lot of fights that, you know, at that age, at that time, I could have done. So, yeah, maybe that motivates me as well. But like I said, I'm taking it fight by fight.
Muchas gracias y mucho éxito.
A ti, Erika. Gracias. Cuídate.
Thank you, Erica. Our next question comes from Ernesto Amador.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Tengo una pregunta para Abner y otra para Miguel. Yo también entiendo inglés, querido Abner, pero te voy a pedir que me contestes en español, por favor. Abner, a ver, hay que hablarlo en plata. Tienes familia, dinero, negocios, 3 divisiones, un gran trabajo como comentarista. Felicidades, por cierto. Entiendo que tienes ganas de cerrar tu carrera de otra manera. Pero platícanos, ¿cómo tomaste la decisión? ¿Qué fue lo que te hizo regresar desde el fondo de tu corazón? ¿Recuperaste el Eye of the Tiger? Y junto con esta pregunta, una obligada, ¿sería esa asignatura pendiente con Leo Santa Cruz para cerrar con broche de oro tu carrera?
It's a twofold question from Ernesto. Well, Abner, you have the money, you have the family, you do have the accomplishment having won 3 divisions. What's left there for you to want to accomplish that drives you to come back in that way? And second of all, do you feel like part of the reason for coming back is that you still have a bit of a grudge against Leo Santa Cruz, something to, you know, like that you need to even up with him in order to go out like you want to as someone that went out in his own terms?
Bueno, pues Amador, mi buen Amador, pues obviamente las ganas, el deseo y la oportunidad, ahí está. Vuelvo y no me canso de decir que las oportunidades se aprecian, y más cuando sientes aún que puedes dar y tienes con qué dar, así que estoy tomando esto con esa conciencia de que puedo todavía otorgar bastante en el boxeo ante un rival bueno como Miguel Flores. Y lo de Leo Santa Cruz, bueno, pues vuelvo a decir, dependiendo de cómo me vea, si me veo de la patada, pues ¿para qué? ¿Me entiendes? Y si me veo bien y si hay esa oportunidad, nuevamente hablando de las oportunidades, con mucho gusto haríamos la trilogía nuevamente, Leo Santa Cruz y Abner Mares aquí en Los Ángeles.
Well, as far as the first question goes, for the reason for the comeback, I still want to, I still have the drive, I still have the fire in me. And when you have those things, why not come back and try to do your own thing and try to show that you're still very much capable of reaching great heights? As far as Leo Santa Cruz goes, first of all, let's see how I look in this fight. If I look like crap, then, you know, why even try? Then, you know, like I don't even think that would be a possibility. But if I look like I know I can look and the Santa Cruz possibility is there, then let's do it. The trilogy can absolutely happen if the door is open.
Okay. Y esta es la para Miguel. Miguel, con el gusto de saludarte, michoacano. Vas a enfrentar literalmente una leyenda joven, una leyenda peligrosa y una leyenda muy hambrienta como es Abner Mares. Creo que la prensa está diciendo que eres un rival sencillo, creo que se equivocan enormemente. Mi doble respeto para Abner Mares por enfrentar a alguien tan peligroso como tú, pero voy en contraparte.
I think we lost Ernesto. The question was going to be basically, Miguel, whether I guess what he was going to ask was, you know, that you're fighting against somebody that people may be overlooking, that they're calling him an easy opponent. But do you think that the challenge that you're facing against a former champion is something that people should look at differently instead of the way that they're looking at it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was right. He was saying basically, you know, I'm fighting a living legend, and he's right. You know, winning world titles at 18, 22, and 26. Shit, some of us can't even do it at one weight, and he did it at 3. So, you know, that tells you a lot about Abner. But then as far as, you know, sometimes it may be good to not look too good in your fights, because, I mean, I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight. You know, we've obviously had some rough nights against Eduardo Ramirez. That's one of my worst nights in my boxing career. But, you know, I'm always grateful for PBC and the opportunity. You know, this will be my 3rd pay-per-view event. So, you know, I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight, because, you know, on my best night, you know, I've beat some good, solid opponents, and I know what I could do. You know, sometimes as your team will see you and like, man, if you could pull this off fight night, you know, it'll be the perfect night. And I'm hoping, you know, come September 4th, it'll be that perfect night. And, you know, I hate to ruin Abner's plans, but, you know, we're going to LA looking to, you know, call it an upset. You know, instead of a comeback, it'll be an upset for Abner. And, you know, we're looking to go in there and you know, possibly knock him out.
Could you possibly say that in Spanish in a rich way? Because I know Ernesto wanted the answer in Spanish, please.
Okay. Sí, no, pues como dijo Ernesto, estamos peleando con una leyenda viviente. Pues obviamente Abner es campeón, fue campeón mundial en 3 divisiones, 18, 22 y 26. Muchos de nosotros no podemos ni siquiera una división, y él lo hizo en 3, entonces eso no es nada fácil, pero a la vez, pues, dicen que tal vez yo sea una buena para que él se retire, pues estamos ahí para arruinar los planes. Obviamente, pues no he tenido unas buenas noches. También cuando peleé con Eduardo Ramirez fue una de mis peores noches de mi carrera, pero pues siempre agradecido con la empresa que nos siguen dando oportunidades. Esta sería mi tercera por pago por evento. Entonces, es hora de tomar pues hacer las cosas posibles para llegar con la victoria y pues arruinar los planes de Mares, darle un bonito retiro para que pues ya no quede con ganas de regresar al boxeo.
Yes, amigo. Kenneth?
All right.
Thank you for that question, Ernesto. I'm sorry, Ray. Back to you.
No worries, Kenneth. I just want to thank Abner and Miguel for their time as we look forward to their showdown coming up on Sunday, September 4th. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We will see you during fight week in about a month's time.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Abner Mares and Miguel Flores joining us. And now we get ready for the co-main event of the evening. This one should be a terrific affair, as we are very much looking forward to this matchup coming up. It'll be a 12-round WBC Lightweight Title Eliminator. This one in the co-main event. We know that the lightweight division right now is absolutely red hot in boxing. First of all, let's meet two of the principals involved in our co-feature on Sunday, September 4th. It is Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. It'll be headlined by Andy Ruiz and Luis King Kong Ortiz. But this man, 27 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He has 5 straight victories coming into his lightweight debut, 29 years of age, from Sinaloa, Mexico, having come off a victory over Luis Melendez. And gentlemen, please welcome Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez. Eduardo,
Contanos cosas iniciales sobre cómo te sentís para esta pelea.
Primero que nada, buen día a todos. Pues la verdad me siento muy bien, estoy a punto de empezar a entrenar, estamos muy motivados de este gran reto y esperando que se llegue el 4 de septiembre para dar una gran pelea.
How are you, everybody? Great to be here. As you can see, I'm in the gym. I'm about to start training for today, actually. And I'm so excited for the challenge that's about to come on September 4th. It's going to be a great fight, and I'm counting the days until it happens.
now let's meet the man who will be his opponent on Sunday, September 4th in the co-main event of this lightweight showdown. 23 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Just 24 years of age. He gave us a tremendous effort at the Crypto.com arena last December, arguably pushing Gervonta Davis to his most difficult challenge to date. Last December, he rebounded with a sensational victory back in April as he was victorious, knocking out the former champion, Yuriokis Gamboa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac, how you feeling?
Isaac, ¿cómo te sentís? ¿Cómo estás?
Buenas tardes a todos. Pues me siento muy contento por esta nueva oportunidad y bueno, nos estamos preparando como siempre para dejar todo arriba del ring y bueno, el público va a ser el ganador y vamos por la victoria nosotros.
Hi everybody, I'm feeling so excited for this fight coming up. The fans are going to be the true winners on September 4th and I can't wait to see it happen.
All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Kenneth Bohare. If you have questions from the media for Isaac Cruz and Eduardo Ramirez. So we are very much excited about this lightweight showdown. 2 Mexican fighters looking to lay it all on the line at Crypto.com arena. Kenneth?
Thanks, Ray. We'll start with Ernesto Amador. Ernesto.
Salí de mudo, Ernesto.
Oh, ¿aquí?
Ahí estamos.
Muy bien. Tengo una pregunta para cada uno. Voy a arrancar con el Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull, con el gusto de saludarte y sin quitarle méritos a Yuriorkis Gamboa, me parece que el zurdito es un peleador peligrosísimo y quizá más peligroso que Gamboa por el momento que vive el zurdito. ¿Qué tan peligroso, te pregunto, es el zurdito y qué tan serio estás tomando esta pelea?
Espera, Isaac, que traduzco la pregunta. Don't take away anything from Yuriorkis Gamboa, but I do believe that Solito Ramirez is going to be a very dangerous opponent, even more than Gamboa was. Would you agree? How do you feel about the prospect of your opponent? Ahí, cuando quieras, Isaac.
Sí, totalmente. No le vamos a quitar el mérito a nadie. Al contrario, le agradecemos igual a Eduardo Ramírez la oportunidad de querer aceptar el reto ante nosotros. Y bueno, pues muchos piensan que es un peleador fácil. Yo no lo veo así, yo al contrario lo veo un peleador muy complicado, muy completo. Y bueno, nosotros nos estamos preparando para ir a ganarle, para darle una bienvenida a la división de las 135 libras. Y bueno, y sé que el Pitbull Cruz va a hacer lo propio, va a ir a dar la pelea y por la victoria.
Well, like you said, Ernesto, we're not about to take anything away from anybody. And what some people might think that Eduardo is going to be an easy opponent. For me, I couldn't be more in disagreement, because I think that he's going to be a complicated, tough rival for me. While at the same time, I have the mindset of welcoming him to the division in the harshest of ways and showing him what I'm capable of. But having said that, we're gonna be ready for whatever comes our way when we have to step into the ring.
Ahora esta pregunta es para el zurdito. Zurdito, vienes de pelear con Leduán Barthelemy, Miguel Flores, inclusive el colombiano Miguel Marriaga. Vas a pelear con uno de los prospectos más peligrosos de México, que ya es muy reconocido en los Estados Unidos como el Pitbull Cruz. ¿Qué tan capaz te sientes de complicarle la noche y eventualmente ganarle al Pitbull Cruz? ¿Qué tan seguro te sientes de eso?
Eduardo, you have fought three opponents that were quality opponents recently: Miguel Flores, Barthelemy, and Marriaga himself. How do you feel about facing one of Mexico's most dangerous prospects and being able to show the world that you can shock everybody and defeat Isaac Cruz?
La verdad, estamos trabajando en este reto. Como lo comentas, vengo de pelear con una gama de peleadores de alto rendimiento, y la verdad, Isaac está igual, él trae una buena racha, al igual que yo, y me siento muy motivado, y la verdad sí me siento capaz de dar una gran pelea, y sobre todo de buscar la victoria ese día 4 de septiembre.
As you mentioned, the opponents that I have fought have been high quality opponents, and I respect Isaac. I know that he's coming in sweet just like I am. He's kind of going through a good moment right now, but at the same time, I fully believe that I'm up to the challenge and that I can defeat Isaac in order to achieve everything that I have in mind.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Ernesto. We'll move to Alex Cecia. Alex.
How you doing? Thank you. This question is for Eduardo Ramirez. With Isaac being known to deal one of the hardest fighters in your weight class, one of his best fights, does this add any extra pressure going to training camp and the work you're doing now, or is that kind of blocked out?
Bueno, Eduardo, sabiendo que Isaac es uno de los rivales más potentes de esta división, ¿eso te agrega presión, te hace pensar dos veces, o pensás en Isaac como un rival más en tu lista de rivales y no hay diferencia con rivales? Let's wait until Eduardo is able to go somewhere else. Give it a second. There we go. ¿Estamos bien, Eduardo?
Sí, pues tenía un poquito de problemas con la señal, pero ya estamos perfectamente. A ver, ¿me repites la pregunta, por favor? Una disculpa.
No hay problema. Que sí, que Isaac es un rival muy potente, de los mejores de la división. ¿Acaso el calibre de Isaac como rival te agrega presión, o vos lo pensás a Isaac como a cualquiera de tus rivales y no le pones un ingrediente adicional a lo que se está peleando?
No, la verdad, yo todas las peleas, todos mis compromisos los tomo con la seriedad que se debe, porque somos unos profesionales dentro de este deporte, y la verdad es un trabajo, y claro que no le quito méritos a Isaac. La verdad yo siento que es la pelea
la pelea más dura que conlleva mi carrera, no menospreciando las anteriores, pero como lo comentan también, es una nueva visión para mí, es un nuevo reto y soy una persona de retos, me gusta estar compitiendo al máximo y esta no será la excepción.
Well, I never think about a particular fight in a specific way that adds pressure, because in the end, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. Isaac is a quality opponent for sure, but I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, because I crave the challenges that come my way. The harder, the better, because I am someone that craves the pressure. I want to face the best, and I will be ready to do so on September 4th. No doubt about it.
And Eduardo, beating Isaac, how much of a boost do you expect this to do to your resume going forward in your career?
Digamos que le ganas a Isaac. ¿Sentís que esto va a ser un trampolín para tu carrera, que sería algo que le agregaría un punch que no tuviste antes?
Sí, claro, de salir con un resultado positivo ante la pelea de Cruz. Claro, eso es obvio que vendrán grandes retos y esperemos que así sea. Estamos trabajando para eso.
Of course, yeah. If I am to defeat Isaac, then positive results will follow. And whether that is bigger fights, bigger venues, we'll be ready for whatever comes our way. We're looking forward to it.
And one more question just for Isaac. Isaac, after your loss against Tank, you had a 5th round TKO win against Gamboa. You're going against Ramirez now. How are you bouncing back from this Tank victory? Are you kind of just coming back with vengeance in the sense that next time you verse Tank, you want to put him down? How is this training going in for a Ramirez fight?
In the context of Ramirez as an opponent, or the fight against Tank and motivating?
Just his motivation since his loss against Tank. How is it feeling him going into this fight and then what he looks to do after this fight?
¿Cómo te motivó la derrota contra Tank Davis? ¿Te hizo ponerte en modo venganza y querer llevarte a todo el mundo por delante? ¿Y todavía te motiva esa derrota de cara a la pelea contra Ramírez?
Sí, totalmente. Ahora sí que nosotros estamos trabajando para poder adquirir una nueva pelea contra Gervonta Davis, y bueno, sé que para poder obtener esa gran oportunidad nuevamente tengo que ir ganando, que ir tumbando a todo aquel peleador que me enfrente, y bueno, yo voy a hacer lo propio para dar una nueva pelea contra él. Y bueno, ahorita enfocado en Eduardo Ramírez, que es el oponente en turno, y bueno, nosotros vamos a llegar al 100 para traer ese campeonato mundial plata a México, aquí a la Ciudad de México.
The fight against Tank Davis absolutely motivated me, and my goal is to be able to face him once again. What do I need to do that? Simple. Take down every single opponent that I have in front of me. And Eduardo Ramirez is going to be my next rival. I take it very seriously. I'm not about to overlook anybody, but my obligation is to win this fight and then move forward in order to be able to bring a world title back to Mexico City. Jay, go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. My question is for Zudito. It seemed like you were on your way to possibly fighting for a title at 130 after just immediately moving up from featherweight. Now you're moving up to lightweight with a win on September 4th. Like, what is the plan for you moving forward? Are you going to go back to 130, or do you feel like you're going to stay at 135?
Bueno, acá Jake dice que estabas bien postulado en la 130, ahora estás afrontando este nuevo desafío, pero a futuro, ¿qué te gustaría hacer? ¿Volver a la 130? ¿Mantenerte en un peso más elevado? ¿Cómo ves el asunto? ¿O depende del resultado de esta pelea?
Primero que nada, la verdad, vamos a ir por pasos, no nos vamos a adelantar a decir o a hacer planes. Bueno, soy ese tipo de persona. Yo primero me gusta ir haciendo las cosas como están, como se van dando. Espero un resultado positivo, como lo vuelvo a repetir, y de ahí pues va a haber tiempo y podemos pensar, va a haber muchas opciones después de qué es lo que podemos hacer con mi carrera, y vamos a tomar la que más nos convenga.
Look, I try to live in the moment right now. I try not to make too many plans because, that can be counterproductive. But like I said before, I expect the positive results out of this. And then once I do that, I can see which doors keep opening for me. Then I can make the best decision possible in order to benefit my career going forward.
Okay, and then I do have one follow-up to that. Is there still the possibility of him making 130, regardless of what happens on September 4th?
Ahora, lo que quiere saber es, más allá del resultado, ganás o perdés en esta pelea, ¿existe la posibilidad de que regreses a las 130 libras, perdón, o esa puerta está cerrada y hay una nueva etapa en tu carrera?
No está cerrada ninguna opción. Claro que puedo volver a las 130 libras, pero si hay peleas de más nivel o de más interés, por decir así, claro que me quedo en la 130 o en la 135, perdón. Pero igual sí me costaba un poquito de trabajo dar 130. Mi cuerpo ha ido evolucionando y más que nada por eso tomamos este desafío de subir a la 135 porque he venido llevando una buena evolución y esperemos que quede claro, que quede bien demostrada el 4 de septiembre, que el día de la pelea contra Isaac.
I'm not about to close any doors, Jake. The point is that I want to fight wherever I have the best draw, the best opponent, the fights that draw the most interest, really, whether that's 135 or 130. To be honest with you, yes, I did have some trouble making 130 pounds, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be willing to come back to it. It's about what fits me best at that moment. I'm talking to my team in order to get the best fights I can now and in the future.
Okay, muchas gracias. And then, Isaac, I have a question for you. There was a fight discussed with Ryan Garcia at one point. Your team said you had an opportunity waiting for you. I know you're not looking past Zurdito, but does a fight with Ryan Garcia interest you before getting a rematch with Tank, assuming everything goes right on September 4th?
Bueno, sabemos que acá no estamos viendo más allá de Eduardo Ramírez, Isaac, pero a futuro, ¿considerarías una pelea contra Ryan Garcia, un tipo con el que te han asociado últimamente, antes de la revancha con Tank Davis?
Pues yo no me cierro a ninguna oportunidad. Ahorita yo estoy enfocado en el oponente que es Eduardo Ramírez, pero como lo he dicho, le va a llegar su momento a Ryan y que pues que no comances, porque pues cuando ya esté la pelea asegurada, pues que no la vaya a tirar como es costumbre ahora de Ryan.
First of all, I am focused on Eduardo Ramirez right now. I would like to tell Ryan Garcia to not be so anxious. Wait for your turn, because when you do get the opportunity to fight me, I hope that you don't back down like you have many times before and throw this fight away. The time will come. Just wait.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Thanks, Jake. Our next question comes from Ismail Abdul Salam. Ismail, go ahead.
Thank you. First question is for Eduardo. Your recent opponents have mostly been a lot taller than you, and you've had a lot of success with them. Now you're fighting Pitbull. Of course, he's a smaller fighter, even though he's naturally bigger. Is it easier for you to fight smaller fighters, or do you prefer having those taller opponents in the ring?
En el rubro de la altura, Eduardo, tus últimos rivales han sido más altos que vos. En este caso, Isaac es más peticito. ¿Te sentís más cómodo peleando contra rivales que son más espigados, más altos que vos, o contra rivales como Isaac, en las que quizás la talla no es un factor?
La verdad, va a sonar como un poco arrogante, pero no sé, me da igual. Grande, chico, a final de cuentas es una pelea y te tienes que adaptar a como sea.
This may sound a little arrogant, but I don't really care. Give me short guys, give me tall guys. I will punch and try to win regardless of the height of my opponent.
Got it. And last question is for Isaac Cruz. Isaac, a lot of people always herald you for the pressure that you bring to the ring and your aggressiveness. But like you mentioned, you know you need to get to that next level to be a championship holder and get that Tank rematch. What do you feel is the biggest overlooked skill you've learned and applied in your last couple fights that maybe people haven't noticed?
Bueno, Isaac, la consistencia y el tratar de llegar al próximo nivel va a ser la clave para que puedas tener esa revancha contra Tank, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿cuál es un aspecto de tu capacidad boxística en la que sentís que has mejorado y la gente quizás no se ha dado cuenta todavía durante tus últimas 2-3 peleas?
Sí, totalmente, el madurar, el adquirir más experiencia, y bueno, es lo que la gente todavía no se da cuenta que cuando yo peleé con Tank Davis no llevaba la experiencia adecuada, y bueno, ahorita ya la estoy adquiriendo, y bueno, cuando se llegue su momento de enfrentarlo nuevamente, vamos a estar más conscientes en todos los sentidos, con más experiencia y más fortalecidos mentalmente.
I would say that it doesn't have to do with the physical aspect of it, it's more mental. I am now more mature, more experienced, and I can guarantee you that when the time does come for me to face Davis again, that maturity and that experience that I have been acquiring, that I will acquire going forward, is going to be a big factor, and it will allow me to be more aware of everything surrounding me to be even better next time around.
Thank you both and best of luck.
Thanks, Ishmael. We'll turn it back over to Ray.
All right. Thank you very much to Isaac Cruz, Eduardo Ramirez. Thank you very much to the media. And I think it bears saying that we cannot wait for just over a month from now. A big night of boxing coming your way. It is Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view as we are ending the summer with a bang, a special Sunday night edition during Labor Day weekend, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. It's all headlined by Andy Ruiz, taking on Luis King Kong Ortiz in a heavyweight title eliminator. Also, the co-main event, a lightweight title eliminator between Isaac Cruz, Eduardo Ramirez, the return of the 3-division world champion, Abner. He'll put his skills to the test against Miguel Flores. And to begin the pay-per-view, Jose Rayo Valenzuela matches up and puts his undefeated record on the line against a very tough Jezreel Corrales, the former world champion from Panama. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We will talk to you as the weeks progress, and have a great rest of your week. Take care, everybody.